We stay in the gym. Robot, we back at you again. Non-stop action. And we gotta keep it clean, YouTube. While they coming in, we're gonna give them time to come in. We're gonna roll that intro. Let's do it, baby.
Young L on the beat.
Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're coming into Gilda, man. Robot. Man, that intro slamming, bro. Right? We about to get ready to get it cracking, man. This is Tahuti School of Alchemy, part 4, man, class 4. If you hadn't checked out the other 3, go back and check out the other 3, man. You probably missed some stuff, man. We cracking heads and twisting caps. Shout out Young Gilda Gang, Ride by Boys in the building. Right? Who else is doing it? Right? Got a couple haters. I went and asked Tahuti, how do you deal with haters? And he said, haters go away if they don't get paid. And I say, what do you mean? Explain. He said that haters need to get paid attention. Listen to this now. Mosquitoes outside getting crazy, son. Telling you. Yeah, so you need to get paid. They need to get paid with attention. So if you don't pay them attention, they eventually go away, right? Because they ain't get paid, right? So how you deal with haters? Don't pay them attention. Just keep going, keep doing your thing. If somebody hating on you, that means you're doing your thing, right? We're about to get right down into it. We're about to bite right down into it, right? To Holy School of Alchemy. I mean, when we left off, we were talking about the building of the base. The base. You got to build a base, man, in this game if you to get started. In basic, let me make sure this the right chip here. Okay, yeah, it's the right chip. All right. All right, keep in mind about Tahuti. Tahuti is the because we left off right there. That's what we left off. All right. Keep in mind, Tahuti is the alchemist of all alchemists. And we talk about the base of the hole in the square, right? The base. You got to build a base in this game. In everything you do, you got to start out with a foundation. Somebody say, "Oh, you talking masonry?" No, nigga, this is Tahuti. that masonry come down from the order of Melchizedek, from the order of Alma and all that. It comes down from us. They really only got a little bit of the information, not all of it. We're gonna give them a little. We're gonna give them a little in this, something they don't got, right? But you see that we got the G in the middle. Now that's a whole bunch of different people that say what the G means. G stand for God. The G stand for Grand Architect. The G stand for geometry. The G stand for good. Niggas got different meanings, right? Also, but it represents the circle and the square. Because the G is a circle and a square, right? And the square right here, the 90 degrees in the compass, right? Dealing with the circle and the square, right? Some people say the G stand for geometry, geo, right? Now keep in mind, going back to the eye of Murdoch, of Ra, the god, because some of these beings they worship Murdoch, right? Murdoch, these we're gonna get into it, man. We got tapes coming out on that with these beings with the IRI and all that. We gotta make the connection for you. We don't want to get stuck on this or here part because we got other tapes coming out on that. Now, when you building your base, you build your base on principles. We got to get into that part because that Illuminati um or the IRI might be in the wrong spot because we break that down later in the tape. So we'll get into that in a minute. We got tapes out on we are the Illuminati. We break all that down right too. But when you building your base, this goes with anything. You building a foundation. Like you say, you either stand for something or you'll fall for anything, right? So as you building your foundation, your morals, your principles, that word principles, because you got to have principles that you stand on. What are principles, right? What is principles? A principle is a basic rule that guides or influence thoughts or actions. This is part of civics right here. In civics, there's principles, there's rules that guide or influence thoughts or actions. Right. So you gotta have rules, you gotta have lines that you don't cross from your foundation, from your root chakra, your foundation, your base in the esoterical realm will be based in from your root chakra as your base, as your foundation, as your root in the ground, as your bite down, right? Because we told, like we said, we're gonna bite right down into it, right? So you gotta have principles, stuff that you ain't gonna do, rules that you follow, guidelines that influence your thoughts, because everything is based on thought here. That's what Tahuti, one of his names, thought. Right? We're gonna get into that. In other words, principles guide our decisions making. We want to make our decisions. We want to make decisions that support our principles. Right. So your principles, your base is gonna be based on all the decisions you make. Once you get your base set up, setting up a base is important. Also, morals and principles is connected. Morals or principles, right? And values based on what a person or society believe are the right the or is or are the right, proper, or acceptable ways of behaving. So society is already drawn out of certain morals and principles uh, of where they think people should behave. And in that, they created the laws that if you break these natural laws or these natural morals or principles, the basic information, keep in mind the basic laws are supreme law of the land, the natural law of the land, of society. When an individual is dealing with or capable of distinguishing between right and wrong. So morals is distinguished between right and wrong. The right and wrong is based on the principles of the basics of what people think, right? All right, what are morals, morality about? It's about what ought to be done. So about what ought to be done, about what's right and wrong, about duties and rights, not about what is, but not about what is, but about what should be done. Right. So that's about what the morals is like. They got the thumbs up and the thumbs down, right? Okay. Keep in mind they talk about like based on a true story. So a base, everything has a base, and the base is based off of three. When you building a story, it's got to have three types of situations within that story to make it to make that story a good story, right? So even your, like I say, we broke this down on part three. If you missed that, even your life, your life structure, when you your foundation, your family, you got to build that base. And like we say, like when I was talking to Rod, Tahuti built his all his structures, his bases based on astrological timing and astrological position. Like you say, a lot of this stuff they know, but they don't want to tell us, but we putting it out for you. All right. And alchemy, this is the base. They draw a base. See, they use the circle and the square, right? The three basic principles or the three basic forms is circle, square, and triangle. Right, so you got a base that this is right here is more. We're gonna get into this on the advanced classes. Right now, I think like the first five to six or seven classes will be like the intro, induction classes, and the basics, and then we'll get more into the ruins, and all that. Right, we already put a book out on it called The Scroll of Eyes. So people, we way ahead of the time, man. Like I said, we in 2024. We really right now we going up into 2025 625 when we dropping this type of stuff, man. I keep in mind everything when you doing your alchemy, you go on a stage. You gotta set up a stage. Stage is also another term in the setting up the base, right? Every time you on stage, it's the same thing when you said to say somebody's always watching. You being always watched because you on stage when you performing. All alchemists are performers because you are forming something. When you forming something, when you paint something or doing anything, you on stage. Like a lot of this stuff might go over people's head, but keep in mind you on stage, and this is not. Hey, this is the night at the Apollo, right? And if you lay claim to be, an alchemist, a high powered alchemist, and then you come on stage uh, you know, and you get Sandman, no, that's on you, bro. You know, they can Sandman you, you know, but we are high power alchemists over here, right? We high power alchemists. And when we breaking down this information, just it might go over your head right now, but at least we getting it in the archive so it'll come back. You can go back and check it out later and say, oh yeah, Young is on the man, this is crazy. Young is Young is on a whole nother level with this, right? So keep in mind, you said when you doing your alchemical situation, you on stage. That's why the thumbnails, all our thumbnails are high power alchemy set up. Those thumbnails that we doing, right? All right, so let's talk about what a stage is in alchemy. There's this the word stage can mean different things. Stage can mean like stages, different levels in the game when you're going up stages in the game, right? Where you're going up different levels. Then you got stage where it's a platform where the performer or entertainer is entertaining the crowd. Right. So it's a point, a period, or step in a process of development. See, right? It could be a level and a step too, and that's in alchemy. It's stages in this. That's the rules. It's stages. You gotta go, you gotta walk, you gotta crawl before you walk. And you gotta walk before you run, right? Or else you're gonna fall. And keep in mind when people fall, they get hurt. Like falling in love. We never fall in love because when you fall, you get hurt. Check this out. A rise the floor, raised floor on I can't man, should I put another color there? To put this in black. on a platform, typically in a theater on which actors, entertainers, or speakers perform. Right. So you got so alchemists, actors are alchemists, comedians are alchemists, right? People that do art form, all art forms are alchemy. See what I'm saying? And the platform is the stage. That's why the stage is invented. Tahuti created the stage for alchemy to be displayed and performed in front of people. Right? It says in a theater performing arts, the stage is a design designated space for the performance of production. Says the stage serves as a space for action or performers and a focal point for the audience. Right? It's a focal point because we got focal points when you're doing your alchemy. You got focal points in the game. You're supposed to have three focal points, starting out with the basic, then you get to four, and then you jump to five, 7, 9. It's really 3, 5, 7, 9, right? All my high power alchemists know that too. Then you can do 2, 4, 6, 8. But it's jump 3, 5, 7, and 9, right? Okay. As in architecture feature, the stage may consist of a platform or series of platforms. So it's a raised position. Uh, so I say like everything got a stage. My wife said that clouds don't got a stage. Yes, I said clouds do got a stage because if they didn't have a stage, you wouldn't be able to see them. Everything that you can see is an art form of a part of alchemy that's being manifest. 'Cause we broke this down on the other tapes. So we don't want you if you ain't up to speed, go back, start from part one, and then you hear me talk about certain things, you'll be caught up to speed. So anything that has a form is a form of alchemy. The clouds are a form of alchemy because it's the clouds are a form of condensed matter or water that evaporates. The way the clouds functioning is a part of alchemy. It's a part of science. So and you can see these clouds performing performing this what's the word I would like to use, this mechanism or this chain reaction or uh this alchemy that's been set into play for the to create the rain. So that's a part of alchemy. And so looking at the clouds, you see them perform, thus they got a stage. A lot of this shit might go over your head. We're trying to keep it clean. Tamuti want me to run these classes 40 minutes, right? Mm. All right, so I'm good. I'm good. All right, Tahuti, we're gonna keep it clean, baby. We're gonna keep it clean. But we're just trying to build them up, get them where they need to be, to where when we go into this new stuff, they'll be ready. Tahuti, we got them. Tahuti said, "Crackheads, you crackhead heads, they twisted caps." That's right. Let's get it. So keep in mind, if you can see it and it has form, then it's a part of alchemy. It's an art form, and thus it has a stage because if everything has that has a purpose in the third dimension has a stage. Thus, you wouldn't be able to see it. The stage is the base. The stage is the base. Okay. Everything in this three-dimensional realm has a base in order for it to stand. In order for it to stand or last long, right? The pyramids has a good base. That's why it lasted long. Everything that we got, like the laptop has a base. Everything that has a base to hold it up, like this mic has a base to hold it up. Everything has a base first, military base. Corporations have headquarters, which is their base. When you set up a business, you gotta have a base. You gotta have a headquarters. You gotta have a place of uh of solid foundation when you're setting up your life or whatever, your alchemy, whatever type of alchemy it is. See, when performers get up there, The performers that's the best performers, they got a certain type of style that's they type of style. Most performers create their own style, like Bruce Lee. He actually took from other styles to create his base his style off of. Like he took from was it Brazilian Jitsu and boxing and mixed that up and created his own style, right? So that made him stand out because he based his style off of the great people before him. That's another good key thing in this game. If you already know high power alchemists that came before you, freedom master teacher Dr. Malachi York, right? So if you already know high power alchemists that came before you, there's a whole bunch of other high power alchemists I could call off. And you study those people, right? And then you base your because keep in mind, this is we broke down already on one tape about the scientific process of research and development, right? So you have your thesis, your data, your research data, you have your conclusion, right, and all that, right? And so a lot of these high power alchemists that came before us, they already did a lot of the research already. A lot of the some of them by experiencing it. So being that we could take they restudying by studying them, we could take their data that they already uncovered and discovered based on their conclusions and theories, and then we could take those and we can already build a base based on it. So all the high power alchemists, all the greats, the great ones, that's who I study, the greats, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey, right? Dr. Bean, Dr. Clark, right? I like Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I like Minister Louis Farrakhan, right? The greats. I like Clark. I mean, I don't think I already said Dr. Clark. I like Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, right? Ray Hagen, right? Dr. Mona Harris, right? It's a lot of my sisters too, right? My Nubian sisters like Dr. French Crushwell, Dr. June Prukum, a lot of my sisters, right, in the game. Mother Sophia Stewart, owner and creator of the Matrix and Terminator, right? So shout out all my Nubian sister, high powered alchemists on the land. I'm telling you, Mother Sophia Stewart, one of the high power alchemists. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, we had like about at least 7 hours worth of tape with it, but the tape ended up getting lost, man. Right. Right. So keep in mind, we could take the information that already been presented to us, and we can use that to base our new so we can advance. That's how it's supposed to been doing. We're supposed to been building one build on to the next. That's why we took the master teacher's information and build off of that because he had already laid out a stage for us, the stage and the basic platform that we could use to branch off and learn all this other, see what the heck is going on and keep growing. Because if you stop growing, then you dead. You stop learning, you stop growing, you dead. Right. So we as high power alchemists, we always on stage, man. We always on stage. All right. Keep in mind when we talk about laying your base, like I say, Tahuti always laid his base based on zodiacs. Like he laid his base based on the timing. This is the time that we living in the third dimension is based off of this calendar. It's based off of this zodiac. It goes back to the Dendoria, the Mayan calendar, all that. This is what time the ages is based off of. But like I say, in some kind of way along the line, somebody try to say that this is all witchcraft and embellishment, and now our timing is off. We off rhythm, and we are people of rhythm. We are people of rhythm and blues. Well, they gave us the blues, but we are people of rhythm, right? And the timing is based on all this. Based on that's why you born in these certain times. They say this month, that month, right? So if you do a business in the wrong time frame, on the wrong day, you open up a business to do this. Everything got to be set up. This all alchemy. The people that know this, they open up their business on a certain day, or when you grant the grand opening, right? Or when you set up your business, or when you finna get to do the adventure, you do it in a certain time and it hit. See, even in the good book, it tells you there's a time for all things. Where you think they got that from? They got that from Tahuti, man. They got that it's a time for all things. That because it's a timing, it's a rhythm. That's one of the seven laws of the universe. Rhythm, timing, right? So you gotta study the astrological chart, study the good days, the bad days. This ain't superstition, man. This is science. This is science that they don't want us to know. Once we get back on timing and we start realizing what time we in, and we start doing things in the right format on time, using civics, the principles and morals of civics, and using um the listening device called the ears, right? To hear the people, right? Through the third eye. We don't want to crack too many heads right now. A lot of this stuff might go over your head. But we're gonna start we study the timing so that we can do stuff or do certain things in the right timing. We knew this at one point, but they cut us off with religion. Uh Not saying that religion is bad, because it's good side and bad side to all things, right? The good side, the bad side to all things, man. But we got to start doing stuff on timing. They always say Nubians never on time for nothing. Why? Because they put us off time. They put us off time, man. That's the game. Keep in mind, a car has a timing belt on it. If this timing belt is not on the right timing, your car don't work, because we dealing with frequencies and waves. Your car got to move in that groove, move in that wave in order for it to run properly. Your body has a timing belt on it too, right? And look how it's shaped like a heart, right? And your if your body is not in properly aligned, your timing is off, and then you get sick. So this is one of the seven rules of the universe is dealing with timing and rhythm, because chain reaction, one stimulates, and then the law of oneness. All these laws really are one law, which is the divine law of oneness, the first law to connect all the other laws, right? So we on a timing for now in this third dimensional hologramic reality, which is dealing with the photon belt. We'll get into that in a minute. But when you do things, it's got to be on a timing. That way, it'll hit it big for you. Say some people hit it big, why? Because they do things right on a certain timing. Some people blow up or hit it big or hit the lottery or whatever you do that might project you farther or advance you in this game. It's on a certain timing. I'm telling you, man. You get married at the right time. You buy a house at the right time. You buy a car at the right time, or you buy land at the right time. You play the stock at the right time. Everything is a timing. I'm telling you, man. Once you get to a certain level of high power alchemist and you realize the timing, like it's the right time to drop this now, so we can give you another level of your information back. What we doing is all we doing is the last part of the cleanup. We the finishers. Right? Malachi Z. York, it was the reformer. Then you got groups that came with him to help reform, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came before Baba. Then you got the reminder, Artumre. Then you got the closer, which is Rod Hayes. Rod Hayes closing it out. And then you got the finish. Me, I come with Rod Hayes as part of the finishers to finish the last part of restoring the information. Those who listen will become Elohims again. Those who don't and just look over me, they gonna stay Lulu Emalus, and they gonna be part of they'll go under the AI. They'll be controlled by AI and be worker beings or be food or be used as batteries. We get into that part too. But this timing, man, we're dealing with timing. We don't want to go too hard to crack your head too hard. Like I say, we got about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. We got about 10 mics out. So who do you say we about 10 mics out? Right? Let's get it. Also, in alchemy, we deal with acidic, alkaline, and base. The basis is the neutral zone. Because keep in mind, we go all the way back to the protons, neutrons, and electrons. That's the basic three. And then you're dealing with the protons would be like the alkalinity side, and then the electrons would be the acidic side, and the base or the basics will be the neutral zone, right? So you got things like when battery acid spill, right, which is acid, right? They put baking soda to take it back to a 7. So we're dealing with the alkaline chart when we're dealing with alchemy, right? We're gonna get into that. What is an acid? It is defined by its behavior in water. Base is what is it base? What does neutralization mean? Like I say, neutralizing means to take it from a -7 because we're dealing with, like I said, that going back to the 0 point energy chart that we showed you in the first couple classes. A lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? People gonna have to go back and get the old classes to be up to speed. But I know a lot of my students, they up to speed. Some of the students. You got hydroxide, metal hydroxide, and carbonate. Uh, and then you got the difference between salt and acid, right? Now let's break this down. All right, so a lot of y'all are already up to speed on the alkaline chart. This is the neutral zone. So this is acidic. So battery acid is like down here. Really, battery acid probably be all the way to -1 or something, 0. You know what I'm saying? But then when you put baking soda on it, you take it back up to a 7. That's why when you got acid reflux and you got gas or whatever, your grandmother tell you take 2 teaspoons of baking soda, put it in some water, stir it up, right? And then we drank it. When you drank it, what it's gonna do is pick the acidic up out of your body, takes it back to a 7. Right, you got alkaline water. A lot of y'all should be up to speed by now on this. We in 2000 what 23, man. Y'all should already know the doctor say we the whole dime. We should be up to speed on this already. Notice that the chart is the same chart, the same colors as the chakras. Red, we're dealing with the root chakra. And then you don't, you got the solar plex and the sacred chakra. Then the green, the heart chakra, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Right. So you go to 10, right? So we're dealing with acidic, basic, neutrals, and then we're dealing with uh, you know, alkaline, which would be protons, neutrons, electrons. See, it's still based on 3. Alkaline, neutral pH, acid pH. That's 3. See? All right. So here's the chart where we show you that like bananas are more on the acidic side. Baking soda is a neutral. You got alkaline ammonia and these so I told people cleaning your house with ammonia, and ammonia kill these demons. Baking soda neutralizes it and stuff. It's acidic. That's why my wife will use baking soda on her teeth because when you eat foods that's acidic, it deteriorates your teeth. So you can drink, or you can brush your teeth with baking soda, and it neutralize the acids on your teeth. Use baking soda and ginger, grind that up, and make you a toothpaste. Baking soda, ginger, some the limes is really acidic. Then you got bleach, all that's over here. Bleach, pine oil, pine salt, that's all over here. How alkaline to kill the bacteria. Telling you. So you study that. This right here, part of the alchemical chart. This is part of the basics of alchemy. Keep in mind that same chart is also okay. We got soaps, base soaps, citrus, acidic. Y'all should be all the way up to speed on this. Ammonia, baking soda, you got lime, soda is acidic. So drinking soda lowers your pH. Battery acid, vinegar. Actually, apple cider vinegar is one of those high power alchemy put stuff that's put together that actually when you drink it, it's acidic, but it can turn in your body it turns alkaline. It's a cleanser. All right, so you got acidic. So you drink when you're drinking soda, you're drinking acid. You're drinking acid. You're drinking battery acid, whatever. This is all about, right? This right here is all the basic stuff. Drano is like alkaline. And now we don't and you don't supposed we don't recommend for nobody listening to drink this stuff just because it's alkaline. It's not meant to drink, it's meant for cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Don't be stupid, you know. We have to make that clear, for my guys. Now the alkaline foods, you should be already up to speed on the alkaline foods here. The greens, Dr. Sabi, you know, uh, his formulas and his he got a meal regimen, a list of fruits and vegetables and things that you should eat as far as the alkaline vegan diet. Right. So these are all household cleaning products. All right, let's break this down and we'll make this the last part for this one. Because we only got about uh 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, right? So we'll make the last this is the last part. Let me see what's next after this. Oh, because we'll get into some of this. Let's go ahead. We're gonna keep it we're trying to who do you say we keep them under 30 to 40 minutes. All right. So okay, you see the chakras right here, right? You got the red chakra, which is dealing with red, acidic, the base. You see, you got do on the do re mi fa sol chart. You got do as the lower level. See, all this is connected. Then you go up to D. You want to tune your if you want to tone your chakras in, this is the chart to tune your chakras. You go start if you want to tune your root chakra, you go in and start and these each of these sounds got different vibration or frequencies. That's what they talk about the 434 and the 440 and all these different frequencies, right? So each of these tones got different frequencies, and these are really tones. This right here, like a flute. These are really tones. Your body is like a flute that plays playing different tones. So it's all connected, and it's dealing with the acidic and so the heart chakra, the green chakra, you got to maintain the green light, the neutral zone, the fire. Really is G. Really G supposed to be green, so it's supposed to be soul. The maintain the solar energy, the green light, the seven go up to the high vibration up into the top. See, all this is connected. And Young yeah been made the connection for you a while back, man. But they been, they sleeping on Young. If you sleeping on Young yeah, slap yourself in back of the head. Slap yourself in back of the head, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, so you see the connection, man. We're gonna make the connection right here. So the food that you eat, it helps. Say if you eat alkaline, if you alkaline, you vibrating up here. If you eating fried chicken and acidic foods, you vibrating down here, right? Drinking a lot of water, you moving it up. If you cleanse your body, you moving it up. You gotta stay at 7 to stay healthy. You'll never get sick as long as you stay here and higher. As long as you vibrating on this frequency. The this frequency is 500. As long as you vibrating on 500. So they want to keep us 440 and below. But we're supposed to be vibrating on 500. That's the heart chakra. The 500 terahertz. The 500 hertz. 500 terahertz. Because you got to get the color green and study the terahertz of green, which is right about around 480, 500 and something. 590. So you want to study that, man. We cracking heads and twisted caps. You see, okay, all right. So you see do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. It'll be ti, do. But there ain't no last do, it's just T, right? Because only 7, like the 7 chakras. And do is the, like, John Doe, Jane Doe. And the Rays is like, Atun Ray, Haru Amun Ray. And the me's is like, me too. Mine, me. And the fives is like, like to speak. The soul people or the green thumbs. And the la is the people that la 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 la. They just having a blast here in this world. And it's nobody that can do nobody wrong. They're on the la 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 people. And the T's is the older people, as in the older family, as in Tahuti, right? And these are all families. These are the seven spirits that they talk about, the real seven spirits of God that they talk about. These the seven sounds, the seven vibrations that comes together to create the other vibrations. These are the seven families. We all sound, nigga, coming from the drum. Hidden information coming from the sun. That's what I told y'all, man. Right. So you know about the chakras. Sound, we already broke that down. We're dealing with light, frequency, and spectrum. So you're dealing with the high frequency is the violet, and then you go into black, ultra black. And then the lower vibrational colors where the time begin to slow down slower is dealing with this the red frequency, which is the slowest traveling color. All right. So we're dealing with light. Everything here is based on light. And then that light is based on thought. Because we told you sound speeds up to create light. And then light speeds up to create thought. And then thought slows down to create light. And then light slows down to create sound. It's like a cycle that goes back and forth over and over again, that spirals, that waves up. Right? We'll come back and we'll get into the more into the time frequency after this. Right? We gotta keep these under 40 minutes to what he said, between 40 minutes. So Islam, Hotep, peace, Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu alaikum. Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.